This man was minding his own business and driving through town. However, he noticed something strange in his rearview mirror. This man caught sight of a single police car that appeared to be tailing him. Normally, people panic when they see a cop car behind them because they expect to get a ticket. They do their best to avoid that situation, but there are many reasons to get pulled over. William Jezwinski learned the hard way. He made sure he drove well and had never received a ticket or been in an accident. Therefore, he couldn't understand why he had been stopped. The police officer got out of the patrol vehicle and walked slowly toward William's car. He looked briefly at him and glanced toward the car's dashboard. Millions of questions ran through William's mind, and his heart started racing. He couldn't understand why he got pulled over or what was happening. Once the peace officer got to his car, William rolled down the window to greet him. He asked why he had been pulled over and wondered briefly if he had actually been speeding and didn't know it. Before he could think, he blurted out the question. The police officer went on, saying that he hadn't been pulled over for a specific reason. However, that confused William, making him feel slightly scared and nervous. William was getting frustrated, but it turned out that the cop only pulled him over to thank the man for his service. What service was this officer thanking the man for? How had he known about anything this driver had done in the past? William was actually more confused than ever. Finally, it clicked. He had a bumper sticker on his pickup truck, so everyone knew he had been in the army. Once William realized that, he thanked the police officer warmly. He mentioned the bumper sticker and told the officer, "You're welcome, sir." "My pleasure." However, that wasn't the end of the encounter. The cop kept him there for a bit longer to ask questions about the young veteran. Specifically, he wanted to know where he served during his service. William answered by saying that he had been a heavy-wheel vehicle operator and had gotten back recently from a stint in the Middle East. He had been at Fort Bennington in Iraq for 15 months. The military man had no idea why he had been stopped or why the cop was asking so many questions. It made him very nervous. Overall, the cop had ulterior motives and finally told William that his son had been in Iraq to serve recently. That was the primary reason for pulling the man over. He wanted to feel connected to someone who understood what his family had gone through. This police officer just wanted to learn more about what his son went through from someone who experienced those same things in the service. As he started talking about his son in Iraq, William began to see things much differently. Though he understood what the cop was going through, he'd recently finished a PTSD program, so it was new for him to talk about what happened in the war. Then the police officer told William something that rocked him to the core and made him sad. The cop's son had died while on duty in Iraq. He hadn't made it home, and that was causing the police officer severe anguish. William felt sympathy for the cop and felt slightly bad about enjoying life while this man's son couldn't. Softly, he said he was sorry to hear about the loss of life. The police officer looked up to tell the young man he could go on his way and saw something resting on the car's dashboard that immediately caught his attention. It was a deliberately folded U.S. flag. If a U.S. military soldier dies, an American flag is folded into a triangle, representing the lost lives of those who served. Each fold signifies something. The police officer pointed out the flag, and William said he folded it to honor all the fallen men who had fought for their country. The cop had asked William to step out of the truck. For a brief moment, he was nervous, but the police officer only wanted to embrace him. This sad police officer asked if he minded receiving a hug from a stranger. After he asked, the cop burst into tears. Initially, William was shocked by the request. It's not every day that a police officer stops you to ask for a hug. William was now crying at this time and didn't try to hold back his tears. He got out of the vehicle, opened his arms wide, and hugged the police officer. They were both crying, and neither one of them cared how they looked to the rest of the world. Soon after the incident, someone posted it on social media, and it got shared and viewed millions of times. Many people throughout the world responded, and the post got more than 48,000 reactions. The hashtag read, "Love What Matters." People sympathized with the police officer and empathized with William. He was taken aback by the support he got. In fact, he was honored for his service, and people told their stories about lost loved ones and all the rest. It was an amazing situation. After that life-changing encounter, William's life sped up and went in new directions. He is now the dad of a beautiful girl who he cherishes very much. She is everything to him, and he's so happy. Those two men were complete strangers, but fate scheduled them to meet. William had been dealing with tough times, but the police officer's story helped him understand that he should be grateful for his life.